Hello, girl. Welcome to a new episode of your Island Girl podcast, your cozy corner on the internet. I'm so glad that you are here with me today. And today's episode, I want to talk about how do we manage to stay afloat without sinking in a big city. You know, girl, me and my girls, and I think that you can identify yourself with maybe. We are very prone to drama, and before I started this whole thing of and whole journey of how to romanticize life, I thought it was ridiculous because how could you even possibly think about romanticize life in a country where nothing works, the politicians are all corrupt, we're a country where wages are too low for the quality of life we lead. There are wars in the world that seem never ending. We have Donald Trump. In short, there's no reason to romanticize life. Everything goes wrong. And I think that if it's something that is very difficult to do, it's stop complaining. It's so hard. Everything just is so chaotic and everything is just so wars and everyone's telling how much it's difficult to live in this world, and it's very difficult to have a job, and it's very difficult to have a salary, and the salaries are very low for your quality of life. I mean, and especially if you're an anxious person like me by nature and have panic attacks very regularly, it's so fucking complicated. So ever since I came to Lisbon, I've been in therapy and have been working hard to try to see things in a different perspective. And I want to share with you, girl, some of the things that work for me and that might work for you as well. So let's try to keep an open mind and understand if these things that I'm about to say will help you also to stop complaining, or at least try to complain a little bit less and focus on the bright side of things and romanticize life. So first things first, when I went to therapy, I was always wanting to have a switch button to just switch down the anxiety, switch down the panic attacks, and just want them to be out of my system. I don't want them anymore. Thanks for stopping by. I don't want you. Please get the fuck out. But it's not that easy. It is not that easy. Even though we really want that, it's not that easy to just want them to go. It's not how it works. But we can actually try to put new perspectives in our minds to look at things in a different way, you know? So the first thing that we talk about in therapy was turn off the TV. As a person that studied political science, communication, it was very difficult for me to just turn off the TV, to not see journalists talking about wars, talking about things that happen. It's such very difficult. I really love to get informed and be informed. And when we put this perspective of turning off the TV, once I finished the master degree, it disconnects ourselves from the news. And if there is one thing that stuck with me on my master's degree, my master's program, is that the news is becoming increasingly sensationalist. Journalism isn't practiced the way it used to be, so it's time to cut it out. But okay, I'll cut it out of my life. So what should I watch instead? Girl, the answer is trash TV. I know. I've always been the kind of girl who made fun of people who watch the Kardashians, who watch the Big Brother, and who watch all those trash TV. I didn't get why people waste their time watching trash TV. But let me tell you, girl, it's a wonderful way to switch your brain. Just to switch off your brain. You don't have to think while you're watching TV. You don't have to absorb what is other people's fears. You just have to watch it. And it doesn't need to be anything out of this world. The shows I'm watching currently are Sex and the City, How I Met Your Mother. I mean, I already saw this and I'm just rewatching. And when I decided to cut out TV for this, it was the best thing that happened to me. My anxiety decreased drastically and I started focusing on things other than my worries. Not to mention how excited I was when I get home and I was so tired. And what I need to do is just watch these programs. It instantly puts me at ease. Just try it, girl, and then let me know how it goes. The second one is actually a cliche, but focus on the good things, girl. I know, like I said, it is a cliche, but looking at the good things is undoubtedly a way to stop focusing on the bad things and be grateful of what you have. You know, having a room, having a bed, you have your parents that love you very much, you have your family, you have your friends, you have a job, you have money, and it's very different when you stop focusing on things that are not going well instead of the things that are actually happening for you. And in the end, you are happier and you didn't even know that. It was really hard for me to do this shift because I spent my whole life talking for myself, talking for me about all the things that are not going well. There is no way that things can go well for me. And do this shift, it feels really strange. And now things are going very well and everything is okay. And right now I am feeling anxious because things are going well. That is a different kind of anxious, a different kind of anxiety that I'm feeling right now, because it's just so crazy how wonderful things are and my nervous system is not actually used to. So now I'm feeling this different type of anxiety and it's so crazy, but it's actually really good. I'm really happy how things turn out and I am really happy how things are going well. And it's crazy when you tell yourself, girl, things are actually going well. The third one is just share it with everyone that you have in your life. Just instead of going to your friends, your family, talking about all the bad things because they are going to talk about also their fears about it, their opinions, their way of seeing things, why don't you just spread it out how things are going wonderful? You know, talk about the beauty of the small things that you have in your life, just one step at a time, and see the change in the long way. It will also start to reflect more on a positive side of what's happening instead of the negative. You know, girl, a little of a story that happened to me years ago. At my other company, I went through layoffs for the first time. I just started working. I didn't know layoffs were a thing, that they existed or it was even possible. But I wasn't affected. Yet I couldn't stop thinking about it, how I should run a mile from that place. Until in therapy we did this exercise of looking at the fact that I didn't have been affected or becoming more resilient and realizing that the company needs me and that's why they didn't let me go. Another exercise that I had to do was coming home and look to all my savings and realize that I have money for an emergency fund in case things go wrong. I have my family back in Madeira that I can go with if I need to go back. And I can support actually myself for a few months while I look for a job that makes actually sense to me instead of just sending out our resumes randomly and aimlessly. I know, girl, that all I've been saying is really hard for you, and it was always so hard for me also to think this way and see things from this perspective. When you believe there's no way things can go well and calm and smoothly, and you are actually okay in your mind when everything you can think is the wrong side of things. But it's one thing at a time. If this made sense to you, girl, let me know in the comments, and if you apply any of these steps, please let me know. I also want to know how it went. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here with me. I love you very much, girl, and everything will be okay. Thank you very much, and I see you in the next episode. Bye!